Welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 79. This is part 3 of a 5-part series of episodes that I have specially curated to help you get a jump start on the new year. While everyone else is waiting until January to get started, I have intentionally selected this episode, the 2 episodes before it and the 2 after it, to help you get started now. I said it in the first episode of this series, and I will say it again here. I don't want you to wait. I want you to wait less. Actually, I want you to want less. And what I mean by that is that I want you to do more. I want you to go after what you want so you stop wanting it and start creating it for yourself. And to help you do just that, I want to make this as simple and doable as possible. That's exactly why I have specifically selected these 5 podcast episodes for you. If you listen to them, if you take what resonates with you and start to implement them, your habits could change before the new year. When everyone else is just getting started, you could already have the foundation. Between now and the new year, you could have already lost weight, created consistency, built confidence in yourself. But it starts with taking action. So start taking action, one small step at a time. Maybe this is the time that you schedule that free consultation call and learn more about the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl method so that you don't have to go this alone. Maybe having my voice in your ear from this podcast is really helpful and you want more of that. Schedule the call. Let's make it happen. Take what you know you love, what motivates you and inspires you, and go deeper. A personalized approach to your goals, one that works for your body, your time, and your life. Less waiting, less wanting, more doing. And today we are going to talk about putting yourself on that list. And this is actually very timely because I just got back from a weekend with my girlfriends in New York City. We had the best time. But in typical mom fashion, it was nearly impossible to all get together. There are so many things that could have and almost did prevent us from doing anything, let alone getting away. But we chose to make it happen. We chose to figure it out. And I think that we all left that little mini trip knowing that we are all better because of it. I really want you to find your truth in that during today's episode. In last week's episode, I talked about creating and honoring what you really desire. And I mentioned how simple yet powerful that can be in creating change in your life. And I heard from so many of you how much that specific episode resonated with you. So today, I'm bringing you another simple yet powerful concept that not only has the ability to change your habits, your weight, and your life if you implement it, but it is actually a requirement. And I do not say that very often. I never say that we need to do anything in order to create the habits or lose the weight that we want to lose, but this one is a requirement. And again, just like last week's episode, it's very simple. very basic. And yet it's also one of the hardest things for us to do. Our lives are busy. Work needs us, kids need us, the house needs to be clean. We're constantly on the go. We're tired. We don't have time. We promise ourselves that we'll get to it later. But what ends up happening is we never make the list. And if we never make the list, we never create the change that we want to create. There is a big difference between wanting and creating. Wanting does not create. Decisions create. Action creates. And that starts with putting yourself on the list. And I know how hard that can feel. And I know the first thing that comes up for you may be, but I don't have any time. Sometimes people will say, replace I don't have time with this isn't important. But the thing is, that's just not true. It is important to you. Of course it is. You wouldn't want to create it if it wasn't important. So telling yourself this isn't important isn't always helpful. Sometimes maybe, but not always. But I do think what can be helpful is to meet I don't have time, or I'm too busy, or I'm constantly on the go with I'm telling myself that I don't have any time. I'm telling myself that I'm too busy. I'm telling myself that I'm constantly on the go. That small shift creates separation between the stories of your inner mean girl that keep you in wanting versus creating, and reality. You may be busy. You may constantly be on the go. The kids may need you a lot. Work may be busy. You may feel like you never have any time. But when you believe that is your reality, it will for sure keep you off the list. I think that this is where coaching is so impactful. We get so caught up in our own stories, some of which we have told ourselves for years and years, stories that feel like the truth of our worlds, and we can't see beyond them. But when we have a coach there to help catch us and catch those stories and point out the discrepancies between what we want and what we believe will always win, no matter how much we want something. If you believe that you don't have any time, or you don't have the energy, or the motivation, or what it takes to achieve your goals, you will never achieve your goals. Most people won't even try. But remember, I bring this entire series to you because every one of these things has the potential to change everything for you. Shifting reality to see I'm telling myself I don't have time, I'm too busy, I'm not motivated enough, or whatever it is that you may be telling yourself. Making that shift gives you the opportunity to explore the truth, to believe something new, to build the belief that helps you to get started, that will help you to keep going and will move you out of wanting and into creating. Of course, you are busy. Of course, the kids need you. Of course, you don't have a lot of time. That is true, but it is not your whole truth. And I say that with so much love because until you see that it is not your full truth, you will never make the list. You will stay in wanting and you will not create the habits that you want to create or lose the weight that you want to lose. You will not live the life that you want to be living in the way that you want to live it, or you won't feel as good as you believe that you could feel if you did the things that you know that you want to do. Again, I know how hard that may be to hear, but that's exactly why I am saying it. You deserve that life. You deserve everything about it. And I know that it is possible for you. I know that it is possible for you to put yourself on the list no matter how busy you are, no matter how demanding your life is, no matter how tired you feel most days. I know for sure you can be part of the list. I have coached so many women just like you with kids and high profile jobs, women who don't have a lot of time or energy, women who have felt like they have lacked the motivation. Every one of them has found a way to put themselves on the list. That has looked different for all of them because all of us have unique lives. But that's what we do. When we work together, we focus on your life. We focus on your body, on the time that you have, on the life that you live, and we create a plan that works with it all. And the thing that I know to be true for every single one of my clients and for you is that you are incredibly resourceful. You always figure things out. If you know that to be true about yourself, it can be true about putting yourself on the list. Taking time for you, feeling taken care of, creating the habits and the confidence you want, and losing the weight that you want to lose. What I want to offer you today is that if it feels like too much, if it feels impossible to put yourself on the list, to take time for you to create what you want, you are most likely thinking too big. We get stuck here often. We think that we need a lot of time. We think that we need to do these big things. We think that we need to do all of the things, make these big moves, change everything. And when it feels too big, when it feels like it's too much, when we can't possibly wrap our heads around how we are going to make it happen, we shut down. We hold back, we put things off, we tell ourselves we'll get to it one day, and we lose out every single time. And the longer we wait, the more we hold ourselves back. The more we tell ourselves we'll do it one day. But we shut down in that moment. And the more we build the belief that we can't do it, every time you shut down, every time you tell yourself you can't do it, you just reinforce that belief. And the more we believe the story that we don't have the time, that we don't have the energy. So if the idea of putting yourself on the list, the idea of taking time for yourself, of moving yourself closer to where you want to be feels too big, scale back. If you think that you need an hour and an hour is not available to you, take 20 minutes. Take 10 minutes. Take whatever time you have for you. The amount of time that you take does not matter. What matters most is the decision to take the time, to use the time that you have. Every time you choose to put yourself on the list, even 5 minutes a day, you quiet the stories of your inner mean girl, those stories that you once believed were your reality. You prove them wrong. You build evidence that you can do it. You cast a vote in favor for what you want, for the habits that you want to create, for the weight that you want to lose, for the woman that you want to become. And every time you cast a vote for what you want, you deepen the belief that it's possible. You build momentum and motivation. Your resourcefulness starts to emerge. And the more that you believe that you can take 5 minutes a day for you, the more you will believe that you can take 10 minutes a day. And the more you believe that you can take 10 minutes a day for yourself, the more that you'll believe that you could do 20 minutes. I had a client a couple years ago I was actually just telling another client about her the other day because my client now asked me what I thought the biggest thing that really drives my clients to get results. And without a doubt, I said it's implementing. It's taking what we talk about every week, knowing what you want, uncovering the obstacles, seeing a clear path forward, and then going out and taking that clear path. This client that I had a couple years ago did that every single week. She changed her habits and built her confidence so quickly. Within 3 months, her life had completely changed. And then we still had 3 months together, so we were able to work on maintaining what she had already created and so much more. And when I think about what made her so successful, it's this. She put herself on the list. Every day, she took time for her. Every day that looked different, but she started small. She started with what felt possible and she built from there. I think the most important part of this is that she allowed what she did to be enough. She started with 10 minutes, 10 minutes on the treadmill at the end of the day. That's what she had time for. It's the time that she had, and it's the time that she used. It's the time that felt possible for her. She chose to use that time for her instead of allowing her inner mean girl to tell her that she doesn't have any time or that the time that she had wasn't enough. She put herself on the list, at first for just 10 minutes. And because she put herself on the list, because she allowed that 10 minutes to be enough, it was just the beginning. It gave her the opportunity to see how good it feels. It gave her the opportunity to see how much it actually helped her to manage the stress of her kids and a really demanding job. It gave her the opportunity to see how much more focused and productive and efficient she could be, how much more connected and in sync she could be with her husband, how much more balanced and in control she felt, how much more energy she had available to her. And once she saw that, she couldn't unsee it. This is what happens. I'm not here to tell you that we all have the same 24 hours. I don't believe that is true. I think we all have very unique life circumstances that dictate how those hours are spent. It's why I create a personalized plan with every one of my clients. I can't tell you that you need an hour every day to move your body and that you need to meal plan and you need to prep and you need to do all of these things that don't work with your life. That will never work. It will never stick. You have probably done that 1,000 times. I want you to create habits that last. I want you to lose weight for good. I want you to know with confidence that the changes that you make are here to stay because you did it in a way that works for you and your life. And what I know to be true is that we all have time. And when you can see beyond the stories of your inner mean girl, that you're too busy, that you don't have any time, that the to-do list is a mile long and everyone and everything else needs you, you'll see the time that you do have. And when you use that time, whether it's 5 minutes or 20 or more, you give yourself the opportunity to reset. You shift into a different mentality. You show up with intention. And when you do this consistently, it becomes effortless. It becomes more natural. It becomes a part of who you are and what you do. That client that completely changed so many areas of her life started with 10 minutes. That 10 minutes turned to 20. And then some days it turned into 45. It became her foundation for the day. She saw it as the most valuable use of her time. She didn't miss a beat when she put herself on the list. In fact, she ended up doing so much more because she felt taken care of, because she felt full of life and energy was pouring out of her. When you tell yourself that you have no time, that you're too busy, that you can't possibly fit it in, that there's too much to do, it's very all or nothing thinking. But there are always options. I want you to hear that with all of my heart. I want you to hear that there are always options. Being on the list can look different every single day. It's never just one thing, it's many things. It's also not always just you. I think this is a big trap that us moms especially fall into. It's the trap of thinking that time for us has to be alone time. It has to be only us. But being part of the list, feeling taken care of, knowing that you are showing up for you and moving yourself closer to your goals does not require you to be alone. Absolutely, that's an added bonus, but it's not a requirement. Putting yourself on the list is a requirement. You can meet your goals, moving yourself forward with your kids and with your husband around, but you cannot move yourself forward if you are not on the list. And when you develop the skill of seeing options, there is always a path forward. And when there is always a path forward, there is no way that you don't reach your goals. There is no way that you don't create the habits that you want to create and lose the weight that you want to lose. You find the way, you figure it out, you build your capacity to be resourceful. And with that, you build confidence, you build motivation, you build momentum. This is when your patterns start to change. And when your patterns change, it changes your life. So I thought it might be helpful for you to hear some of the ways in which I have and do put myself on the list so that you can see how different the options can be. And I really want to call out when you hear these options, I want you to catch yourself. If you have any thoughts of, well, that shouldn't count, that's not self care, that's not enough, any flavor of a story that diminishes what you do for you, I want you to catch it. That will always hold you back. I never think those thoughts. I never think that thing that I just did for me doesn't count. Never. In fact, I see so many more things as doing things for me than I think maybe most people do. Cleaning the kitchen every night is something I consider a non negotiable, unsexy act of self care because I know how much better I feel when I wake up to a clean kitchen. I know the difference in my day when I wake up to a clean kitchen versus one in which there are dirty dishes everywhere and the counters are cluttered or they're not wiped down. The version of me that wakes up to a messy kitchen is not a calm one. It's not one that I want to embrace. It's not one that I want to wake up to. And I know that that feeling I have in the morning when I wake up to a messy kitchen ripples throughout my day. And you may not see cleaning the kitchen every night as self-care, but I do because I know how much better I feel when it's clean. The same with grocery shopping. If the kitchen is stocked with fruits and vegetables and delicious foods that I know make me feel good, that is self-care to me. I cook dinner 4 to 5 times a week, sometimes more, even when the week is filled with kids activities and I could easily say I'm too busy and I have no time. I plan meals based on the time that I know I will have available. But I make it happen because it's important to me. That's part of me being on the list. Me eating in a way that I want to eat, a way that works for my body, a way that makes me feel my best, is me taking care of me. I always plan meals for what I want to eat. I bring my family along, and I am not afraid to make a second dinner for my kids if I know they won't eat what I eat. But I keep their meals super simple. I keep our meals pretty simple as well, but I always plan for my meals first. I hear so many women say that they just eat whatever's left on their kid's plate and then they feel awful about it. And it's just another piece of evidence that they always come last. And I will be very honest with you, I have never done that. Even with my husband, he ate very differently when we were dating than he does now because I made the meals that I want to eat. I brought him along. And I think he would say that he's really grateful for that. And yes, my kids are kids. They're picky. They don't want to eat everything that I eat. But what I have seen is that the more my husband and I eat in a way that I know works for our bodies, the more curious my kids are about the food that we eat. And the more that they ask to try things. They don't always like it, but a lot of the times they do come along and they want to have it the next time. That would never happen if I didn't put my needs and eating for my body on the list. When my kids were babies and I was nursing and their schedules were all over the place, my workouts were 10 minutes. But those 10 minutes made me feel human again. It's all I had and it was all that I needed. I allowed it to be all that I needed. When I used to travel for work a lot, I would take 5 or 10 minutes before bed to stretch. I was working like 18-hour plus days. That was what I had available to me. So that's what I used. That's what I did. When I was commuting to an office and I was dropping and picking up two different kids at two different places, I'd go for a walk during my lunch break. Now, my kids and I go for a walk when they get home from school, washing my face every night, putting on a face mask, reading a book before bed, making my bed every morning, sitting down to eat breakfast or lunch when I can, a 5 or 10 minute sleep meditation when I get into bed at night. These are all forms of self care. I also choose to wake up early in the morning to work out before, mainly before my kids are awake. But sometimes they come down and they join me. It is still time for me. It's me being added to the list. And I don't always want to wake up early. Most days I don't want to at all. But I do because it's a way for me to be on the list. And I would rather choose to be on the list than choose to stay in bed and feel like I can never make the list. You're not going to get it right 100% of the time. Being on the list, feeling taken care of, moving yourself closer to where you want to be, creating the habits that you want to create, being more consistent, losing weight, feeling more balanced is never about getting it right all of the time. It's about staying out of all or nothing thinking. It's about looking for the options, choosing to keep yourself going, choosing to show your kids that you can love them deeply and take amazing care of them and take care of yourself too. I think about this all of the time. If I don't take care of me, how will my kids know how to take care of themselves one day? If they don't see that their mom can love them and be there for them and take time for herself and do things that make her feel good, they will never know how to do that for themselves. They will always think that parents, that moms especially, fall to the bottom of the list, that they're exhausted all of the time and they never have time for themselves. And I refuse to allow them to believe that. And that starts with me refusing to believe that that's my reality. So, in the spirit of the holidays, in the spirit of list making, in the spirit of wanting and giving, I hope that you put yourself on the list. I hope that you see the time that you do have and you use it for you. I hope that you allow that to be enough, knowing that it's just the beginning and that everyone around you benefits from you being on the list. I hope this episode was helpful for you today. I hope it's the reminder that you need, that you matter too, that what you want matters, and that the only way to achieve it is to find a way to be on the list. All right, I will be back next week with part 4 in this series. If you are loving this podcast, please subscribe, rate, or review. Or if you know someone who would benefit from this message, please share it with them. And if you are ready to quiet your inner mean girl, to create habits that make you feel amazing, to lose weight and confidently keep it off while living the life that you love, I invite you to schedule your complimentary 60-minute consultation. We'll discuss where you are, where you want to be, and how my Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl method can help you create the future that you want. You can find the link to book your call in the show notes, or you can also connect with me directly on Instagram at Wellness with Abby H. I can't wait to talk to you.